Birding your local patch, your local area is great, but sometimes you need to go and explore and see something different. My name is Josip, and welcome to Spain. The first stop for the trip. Last time I was in Spain, I had in total 4 species because I didn't do any recording and I was not as diligent about it as I am right now. But let's see how many will we have this trip. Of course, one of the first birds that we've seen during this trip were rose-ringed parakeets. They were absolutely everywhere and they were flying and vocalizing during our entire stay in Barcelona. These birds are not native to Europe, they are native to sub-Saharan Africa and Indian subcontinent, where most of them are brought in from. This was in late February, but the chorus was already going. Almost every passerine that we've seen was singing, and especially these sirens. They were all over us and singing from almost every single perch. Sirens actually expanded their range in the last 100 years, expanding from the Mediterranean region north. In Croatia, we started getting them sometime at the end of March, but I like them. I don't mind seeing them even earlier. First day out in Spain, I was basically taking only the common species, like common wood pigeon, the starling, saren, so many other species that were just flying around and giving us some good views. But I was still trying to find something that we don't have in Croatia and that would be possibly new. But again, even the common species are great and I do like to take photos of them, so I didn't mind at all. In addition to all that, it was a great opportunity to teach my daughter some birds. But soon, I found the first lifer for the trip, monk parakeet. But this is not a native species, so I was kind of torn about this. So far, at this location behind me, some reeds and some water, already 22, 24 species. So not bad for a first day after a long travel time to get here. We wanted to go to the beach as well and to see what is there. I got really excited, saw a gull, and tripped. In my defense, it is one amazing gull, Audouin's gull. They are absolutely stunning. They have one of the best conservation success stories in Europe, where they have rebounded from the numbers as low as 1,000 pairs all the way to current 22,000. New day, we started birding in Castelldefels, La Pava, and I already hear what we wanted to find here. And it is one of the endemics of Iberian Peninsula. It's a woodpecker. This particular woodpecker. And the bird is right in this tree over here. And you can hear it calling, but behind the tree. So somewhere in the back. Spain has a lot of regional endemics, and Iberian green woodpecker is one of them. Only found in Iberian Peninsula, they are very closely related to Lev Island's woodpecker in North Africa. I gotta say, this location that I found was just perfect, especially for the woodpecker, but also there were other species there that we got to enjoy, but I cannot emphasize enough, this woodpecker was amazing. And everywhere around us you can see the cavities woodpeckers made and parakeets that were using these cavities for nesting now. The only downside is that everything around us was close to the El Prat airport. We had planes flying above us the entire time we were there. The good thing was, it didn't faze the woodpeckers. Or parakeets. We got to see some friends and we all went out to do some birding. It was our first time going out birding together and we saw some really nice common species that they haven't seen, but also they got to use binoculars and see some birds that they usually cannot see without binoculars, like this meadow pipit, which was a challenge to find to begin with because they are so small and they blend in so well with the environment. It was a bit of a challenge. And then with the common species that we've seen, this is what I got there for. Western swamp hen. I've been looking for this bird since 2016, and this was an amazing find. They were so tame, which is something I didn't expect. This beautiful blue bird used to be considered cosmopolitan species, and now it has been split into several different species. And these species can be found on every continent except for South America and Antarctica. Another great success story for conservation is the glossy ibis. They have been going up in numbers for a while now, and especially in Portugal and Spain, where you can see them in huge numbers in vast wetlands. They are very recognizable with their curved bill, brownish body, with colorful, oily shimmer on it. And here you can actually see how they are feeding. They are probing the mud, searching for mollusks and invertebrates. Some birds really didn't mind us being there, like this little egret, and some just couldn't stop flying. Before leaving Valencia, we did some birding from the rooftops and got some really nice views of spotless starlings, which are also very commonly present in northern Africa and in Iberian Peninsula. We did get to hear them sing, but my camera and my phone both picked up only the sounds of the traffic, so I'm gonna spare you of that. And I have to say, I absolutely love our starlings, but the jet black of this spotless starling is just something else. Saying goodbye to our friends, we started our hunt for some birds that we haven't seen before. And the first stop that we did yielded one great species, among some common ones that we also ticked. Just like always, whenever you try to find a reed warbler, you can hear it, but finding it and seeing it, almost impossible. And while I was expecting to hear a reed warbler, I did not expect to see this beautiful male blue throat. There was a body of water with lots of ducks and coots, but only one duck was really special, at least for me. Another bird that I have been looking for years now, and it kept evading me, and I'm so glad that finally I got to see one, and I was so surprised to see how big they are compared to coots, almost the same size. In total, there were two individuals, and both of them male. At times, they were looking at us, but most of the time, they were just resting and not doing much. We also got to see some waders like black-winged stilts, black-tailed godwits. In total, there were not that many godwits, but there were many black-winged stilts. This shoveler also wanted some time in the spotlight, as you can see here. Since it was a little bit windy, the birds were not doing much, and they were generally just resting. And after seeing the white-headed duck, we went away, and on the highway, I had to stop again, this time properly, to see this magnificent bird. Quick story. There was an article that I've seen about 7 or 8 years ago where they were talking about 10 most common species of birds in Europe, and somehow Spanish eagle got in there. Spanish eagle has one of the greatest success stories out there as well. In the 60s and 70s, their numbers went down to only 38 pairs, and now, due to lots of conservation effort, their numbers are rebounding and there are more than 1,000 pairs. We are at the hotel now, we are done for the day, and it was such a great day with the white headed duck and with so many other birds that in Croatia they come in about 2, 3, 4 weeks. They were already here. So that was really nice to find. And of course, the last bird that I checked for the day, it was the Spanish eagle. What a great day. Let's see if tomorrow will be better, but I think it might be. So here on Tablas de Daimiel, there are a few birds that I wanted to see and wanted to find. And we also wanted to take a little walk around here. But here behind me, right about here, there are marble ducks. Now, I might sound like a broken record, but this is also one of the birds that I was looking for a while now. Fun fact about marble ducks, both male and females look exactly the same throughout the year, as males do not have the eclipse phase, meaning they do not molt their feathers after breeding season. And this also has to be mentioned, another great conservation story with lots of effort put into captive breeding and restoring wetlands, and this bird went from very few to 131 breeding pairs in the wild. Now, have I seen an Iberian magpie before? Yes. Was I extremely excited to see them again? Also, yes. This entire flock of 70-ish birds came right next to me and my daughter, about 5 meters away. They tend to stay in flocks numbering 10 to 70, sometimes more individuals. Did you know that people used to think that these birds were brought from Asia by boat? There is an East Asian species that is very similar to this one, but it has been proven that these birds used to be the same species. But during the last ice age, they were separated by glaciers and evolved into two separate, distinctive species. So cool. Now, if you want to get your child into birds, there are a few birds that will definitely spark their interest. And one of those is definitely a flamingo. They are one of the most recognizable species that we have in Europe, with their long necks, pink body, and very unique behavior. Kids just love them. And my daughter is one of those. It might be because of me, but I am hoping that it's, because flamingos are objectively awesome. The color of their feathers comes from the brine shrimp they feed on, and that's why you can see juvenile birds not having that pink color of the feathers. Now, some of my favorite birds are partridges, and especially the birds in Alectoris genus. So seeing this red-legged partridge really made my day. But also, seeing little bustards, they were amazing and very cooperative this time. I had a few opportunity to see them in the past, but I'll take this without any complaint. When you look at this old building, you would think there's not much happening there, but you'll be wrong. Lesser kestrels were all over the place. In the surrounding fields, there were lots of larks and buntings, many of which were already marking their territories and singing. But lots of partridges as well. I have mentioned this before, but one of my goals is to see all the birds in Alectoris genus. That would include 7 birds, rock partridge, choker partridge, Arabian, Philby, Barbary, red-legged partridge, and now I'm only missing Przewalski partridge in China. After a while, they got used to me. But then we went from a medium-sized chicken to the biggest flying bird in Europe. In this flock, there were 50 individuals. They were quite far away. An introduction video was recorded here with these birds in the background. Obviously, they were far away, so you cannot see them, but what a sight. Now, if you know how these birds sound like, you can skip this step. But if you don't, go and search for the call of a great bustard. And as we were leaving the area, we saw the Iberian grey shrike. While related to the great grey shrike we have in Europe, it is quite distinctive. Going to our next location, we stopped at few places to see what is there. We found some golden and short-toed eagles, Eurasian griffon vultures, rock bunting, short-toed tree creeper, and many more. Unlike nuthatches, tree creepers can go only up the bark, but they cannot turn their head down towards the ground and head this way. So they actually need to go up and they fly down to start over again and search for food. This is day 2 of actually trying to see Dupont's lark, because yesterday I heard it, didn't see it, only heard it once, and I couldn't find it again. But now I'm in a better location, and here I heard 3 or 4 at this time, just so far away. They're just so far away, and I'm still struggling to see them. So let's see if today will be any better than yesterday. Okay, I just cannot find them. I'm walking next to their habitat on the road, and I keep hearing them. There are several individuals. I think I'm at around now 7 or 8 individuals, and I just cannot see them. No luck. They like to walk more than they like to fly, especially if they see something that is looking like a threat, like me on the road. But I'm counting this as a win, even though the bird beat me and I did not see it. Next time, right? We went for another visit to the beach for my daughter, and I found a Mediterranean gull, but the last bird of the day and of the trip was none other than Dartford's warbler. I was almost thinking that I will go home without ever seeing one. So yeah, this was my trip to Spain. I got to see some amazing birds, found 11 lifers, 114 species altogether with 45 checklists. Here you can see the list of species that I've seen. If you like this video, please leave a comment, like it, share it to someone who also might enjoy it, and if you want to see more in the future, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next video.